Jai Shri Ram. This is the part 2 of the discussion on status. The status anxiety, number 7. There may be the great psychologically, this may be the great psychological disease. This is the great psychological disease, status anxiety. Status anxiety, fear that one's social position is inadequate, declining, or insufficiently recognized. Are you suffering from the disease called status anxiety? What would people think? People think everyone is ahead of me. I should be doing better. People don't respect me. My children must get into the best school. I need the right address. I must look successful. I cannot be seen doing that. What will my relatives say? Notice the astonishing transformation. Other people's imagined opinions become your internal prison guards. Other people's imagined opinions become your internal prison guards. The status wound. Some people don't merely want respect, they desperately need recognition. Their internal equation becomes my status is equal to my worth. Therefore, criticism means humiliation. Someone else succeeds, that's a threat. Being ignored, that's an insult. Losing a title, identity collapse. Retirement, existential crisis. No, I'm not having any such crisis. Younger person surpasses them, rage. No, no, no. A subordinate disagrees, rebellion. No. This is where status becomes pathological. Status becoming pathological. I have seen this entire gamut. The person is no longer using status, status is using this person. Status addiction, the funny cycle. Achievement, recognition, pleasure, adaptation, comparison, insecurity, achievement. Again and again. Accumulating money, award, title, follower, position, social connection, land, plat, flat, God knows what, cars. Remaining psychologically hungry, because the hunger isn't really for the object, it is for confirmation of worth. We must remain psychologically hungry, but not for confirmation of worth by somebody. External validation. External validation is an unreliable drug, and the dose continuously has to increase. Oh my God. Status competition. Irrational behavior. Work 90 hours for a slightly better title. Why would? Buy an unnecessarily expensive car. Maintenance, oh, and after you buy it, once it comes out of the showroom, 50% cost is down. And if you park it anywhere, somebody will scratch it. Oh my God. Buying that Benz is a real pain, especially in Hyderabad. Spend 20,000 on dinner to impress people. My God. Splurging. Bragging about knowing, name dropping. Becoming furious when somebody doesn't stand up. Obsess over school rankings. Quarrel over seating arrangements. Fight over ceremonial precedence. Because the object isn't the object, it is rank. Humans will expend extraordinary resources defending tiny differences in prestige. Civilizations have gone to war over them. Families have stopped speaking over them. Correct. We are too low status now. And occasionally, two grown men will nearly assassinate one another over who gets the front chair at a function. Correct. I've seen this happening. All duffers are sitting in the front chair because they are important people. పెద్ద మనుషులు, పెద్దవాళ్ళు, గ్రామ పెద్దలు, something like that. And the chair has become metaphysics. The fascinating upside of status. Status isn't intrinsically evil, quite the opposite. A healthy status system can reward competence. Healthy status system, which we don't have now. Competence, courage, generosity, wisdom, creativity, service, leadership, reliability, mastery, moral courage. That is the prestige pathway. The community effectively says you have become excellent at something valuable. We recognize you. That can be socially productive. The great danger is when society rewards mere signaling rather than genuine contribution. We have people sitting in parliament. You see, in our parliament, so many pappus are there. It's wretched. And all kinds of buffoons have been given Bharat Ratna, Padma Shri, Padma Vibhushan. Oh my God. All political stooges. Uh, Appearance defeats substance. The positive markers of healthy status. Status hierarchy, which can be recommended. External, I am recognized, fine. Competence, I am genuinely good at something, much better. Contribution, I make other people's lives better. Now we are talking. Character, I remain decent when nobody is watching. Rare. Inner sovereignty, I don't require applause to know what I am. This is the heavyweight division. Same here. I go to temples and talk about Rama because Hanuman is listening. And Rama is listening when I am talking about Hanuman. This bloody audience I don't need because most of them come with their cell phones. They can't listen, they are totally distracted. Right? Inner sovereignty. I don't require your applause or validation. Transcendence. I no longer organize my life around rank. I'm out of this status competition. I don't play status games. Now my status has been seen through rather than merely acquired. Paradox of genuine status. People with the most secure status often don't behave as though they need it. Correct. I don't need. They don't have to announce I'm important. Their behavior announces it for them. There's a fascinating inverse relationship. Fragile status requires display. Secure status permits understatement. Correct. Humble yourself so that you may be exalted. Uh, and people with this entitlement, sense of entitlement, VIP. Uh, uh, if you try to exalt yourself, you will be humbled. Presumptuousness is dangerous. Fragile status requires display. Secure status permits understatement. A person who desperately needs everyone to know he is powerful is already revealing something about his powerlessness. Oh, status and health. Marmot's bombshell. Now we can enter a completely different territory. Michael Marmot's work on the status syndrome, found that health follows a social gradient. Higher people's social position, the better their health and life. And this gradient exists even among people who are not living in absolute property. Okay. The Whitehall studies of British civil servants are particularly important. Even among people employed within the same broad organization, differences in occupational rank were associated with differences in health. Important mechanism, control over one's life plus social participation plus chronic stress. Chronic stress. Lower status often means less autonomy, less control, and less ability to participate fully in society. Correct. This is my frustration. I have done so much research. I want to talk about Bhagavad Gita so much, and I am certain there must be people who know more than me. But where is the audience? The chronic low control environments can affect biological stress systems. But of course, now I am immune. I don't need your bloody audience and validation. Marmot's formulation is particularly striking. The key to the status syndrome lies in the brain. I am buying a rubber band on Flipkart. 500 रुपये में मिल रहा है. Status therefore isn't merely about cocktail party vanity. It's not cocktail party vanity. Social rank can become biology. Wow. Oh. Interesting. Stress, status and stress. Beautiful devil's advocate point here. People commonly assume the person at the top must be more stressed. Not necessarily. Responsibility can be stressful, but lack of control can be even more corrosive. A person with enormous demands but considerable autonomy may experience stress very differently. But someone with little autonomy and constant demands. Okay, Marmot's work strongly emphasizes this distinction. Enormous demands, considerable autonomy may experience stress very differently from someone with little autonomy and constant demands. Okay. Stress is not equal to amount of work. Sometimes stress is equal to work plus low control, plus low recognition, plus low support. That's true. I think that's what is happening to me right now. Stress is equal to uh, stress is equal to what? not equal to amount of work. Stress is equal to work plus low control, low recognition. The temple board, I should be the president of the Ram temple, by or Krishna temple. They should appoint me on the board as the president, but they won't. So all the Kula Sangams are operating. They think that their temples are all, caste. Of course, we don't have caste anyway. The low social support, low recognition. ठीक है, चलता ही रहेगा ऐसे ही. कब बदलेगा मालूम नहीं. Status and the body. Chronic stress, social stress can involve cortisol, adrenaline, sleep disruption. Chronic stress arising from low control and social exclusion, biological pathways. King, minister, clerk can eventually become social hierarchies, psychological experience, physiology. Right? Status and brain's attention. Status affects how people perceive one another. High status individual tend to attract greater attention and are often judged through a competence lens. Perceived status influences attention, evaluation. Dangerous feedback loop. Status, attention, perceived competence, more status. Once someone gets into the escalator may help them climb. Oh, you are on the status escalator. Low status, less attention, fewer opportunities, apparent lack of competence, continued low status. Same here. I am begging everybody, అరే मेरे बुला लो, నేను భగవద్గీత చెప్తానండి, మీకు ఏంటది స్మార్ట్ బోర్డ్ ఉందా? No. My laptop is there, projector. I can, no. I don't know. They are not listening. They won't listen. The minds, somebody said attention span is 8 seconds these days. My God. I'm in a peculiar status catch 22 situation. Chalo. Status can therefore becoming self-reinforcing. So low status, less attention. If you have more, you will get more, and if you have less, you will lose whatever little you have. Halo effect. Psychological tricks. Someone is handsome, rich, famous, highly educated, powerful. Suddenly, we unconsciously he is intelligent, competent, trustworthy, sophisticated, morally superior. Oh my God! Such a great truth this is. But those are separate variables. A Nobel Prize does not confer sainthood. Crow does not confer wisdom. Title does not confer character. Million followers do not constitute a million witnesses for truth. Status can distort our epistemology. Correct. Epistemology is the study of what is knowledge. Is there knowledge? What exactly is knowledge? Very interesting subject. Status can distort our epistemology. We begin believing something because of who said it rather than asking whether it is true. Correct. Baladapi subhashitam. We should. Dangerous territory. Status and psychophancy. Every hierarchy generates an ecosystem. At the bottom, fear. In the middle, competition. At the top, flattery. People begin telling the powerful what they want to hear. The powerful then hear increasingly flattering versions of reality. Eventually, power isolates the person from corrective information. Correct. Huh? Correct. The king is completely surrounded by sycophants. Vandi Madhavulu. There, in Hindu kings used to have Vandi Madhavulu, a group of people who were hired, very intelligent, scholarly, who spontaneously, poetically sing whenever any court proceeding, whatever, for the king. So that, and these people are paid to think like black hat thinkers, devil's advocates, and the six thinking hats, you see. Something good, they will say it. If they find there's something wrong, they will sing it out. So the king gets alerted. So Vandi Madhavulu is a very all hat thinkers, and mainly black hat thinkers. I read somewhere Henry Ford hired a man whose job is to simply sit and think and watch what is wrong, and he doesn't do anything. He just sits and thinks. He goes around, sees things, and comes back. Devil's advocate job. We should surround ourselves. Nindak niyare rakhiye. Kabir, Nindak niyare rakhiye. Without pani and sabun, he will wash you. Kabir ka doha. There may be one reason some leaders become progressively detached from reality. Correct. Total disconnect. The court becomes an echo chamber wearing expensive clothes. Ah, the king's new clothes. That parable. Status and humiliation. Okay, let us see. Status has an evil twin, humiliation. Humiliation is not simply I was hurt, it is I was publicly lowered in rank. Ah, it has happened to us, all of us. Hence the extraordinary intensity of public insults. Private criticism can be tolerated, but public disrespect can provoke disproportionate rage because the perceived injury isn't merely emotional, it is hierarchical. Hierarchical. The person believes you have lowered me in front of the tribe. And suddenly the amygdala has acquired a sitting chart. Status loss. Most psychologically difficult experiences can be downward mobility. Example, retirement, bankruptcy, divorce, job loss, loss of office, political defeat, professional failure, social exclusion, children becoming more successful, losing physical attractiveness with age. If identity is fused with rank, status loss becomes self loss. But someone with internal locus of control, internal anchors, I lost a position, I did not lose myself. This distinction is enormous. Status and aging. Aging is fascinating because biology gradually removes several conventional status currencies: physical strength, beauty, athletic performance, professional authority, sexual attractiveness, occupational title. If these were the pillars of identity, aging becomes a demolition project. But other currencies can become stronger: wisdom, judgment, humor, emotional stability, mentorship, perspective, character, accumulated skill. Hence, a civilization obsessed with exclusively with youth is rather like a university that awards degrees only to first year students. That's what is happening to Hindu society. Status and children. Parents can unconsciously convert children into status objects. Correct. My son is an IITN. Oh my god, I can't name, but all my family, extended family. Who is IAM? He's IIT. You, what have you done? This fellow. My daughter is a doctor, engineer. He is an IAS. He studies at, she married, they live in such a big house. Child becomes a social credential. The dangerous question becomes, how does my child perform socially? Instead of what sort of a human being is my child becoming? Status can therefore colonize parenting. Status is colonizing parenting. Status and education. Education can serve two completely different purposes. Education as status. I went to an elite institution, IIT, IIM, Harvard, Columbia. Education as liberation, I can think. The first gives you a credential, the second gives you independence. The difference is colossal. Status and social media. Social media industrialized status comparison. Of course, thanks to social media, YouTube, and many people who mainstream media would not invite them, but they've got recognition. Earlier, you compared yourself with neighbors. Now you compare yourself with the most successful looking 0.1% of humanity, and their lives are edited. Your ordinary Tuesday is being compared with someone else's cinematic trailer. Followers become numerical status markers. Correct. How many followers? Oh my god. How many followers do you have? YouTube me. Likes become micro rewards. And people are, doling out micro aggressions, micro insults, assaults, invalidations because they feel that somebody with lower status you can bloody ride roughshod. Views become public validation. Correct. Virality becomes temporary elevation in the tribe. The status hierarchy has acquired an odometer. The keeping up syndrome. The mechanism. Someone else's success becomes evidence of your inadequacy. That is the poison. The healthier interpretation, their success is information about what is possible. The unhealthy interpretation, their success is evidence that I am inferior. Same fact, entirely different psychology. Status jealousy. My god. Status jealousy. Relative deprivation. Deepest ideas in the subject. You can be objectively well off and subjectively deprived. Correct. Because humans don't evaluate resources in isolation. How much do I have relative to people who matter to me? Absolute prosperity can coexist with psychological dissatisfaction. Marmot's work makes a related point in health. Okay, relative social position can matter across the entire hierarchy. Okay, 29, we'll stop here. Status games, status games. We'll pick up from status games in the next track. Jai Shri Ram.